Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Petey. I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Mimi.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Matt.
I'm Megan.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Currently, I am up in the farm market. I've been working on filling up the apples. And besides that, I've been looking at some things that we need to pick. I believe today we're gonna need to grab some cabbage, and we're also gonna need to grab some cauliflower. Since it's later on in the year and we're no longer harvesting a bulk of our vegetables, I have been noticing that prices have been going up here inside the farm market, but that was bound to happen because we have to start buying in produce. For example, lettuce and tomatoes. Those are two things that the prices are gonna be going up on, and that could be for multiple reasons. I've heard a lot of the produce that's being produced in California, that's getting a price hike because they're having trouble getting access to water. Not only is that an issue, but we also think of fuel costs. We think about the fertilizer cost that is going into raising these crops. So it's unfortunate, but it was bound to happen, and I can't wait till next year when we can start picking all our own produce again. It gives us a lot of peace of mind here when we can control the price on what we're selling. What's up, turkeys? Good morning. But anyway, that's enough about food prices for the morning. Talking about food prices sometimes gets me fired up, and I don't need to be fired up yet. Good morning, everybody. We got a good little crew over here. Nice looking cattle. We need potatoes up inside the farm market. We need a few 50s of white, a few 50s of red, and then we need a few 10s of white and red. So I'm getting started with the 50s of white. In one of my previous videos that we just uploaded, we were talking about the prices for our potatoes, and I was pretty happy reading the comments because a lot of you said that our potato prices were reasonable. Now our potato prices are factored in so that we can make a profit off of all of the money that we put into raising the potatoes, but it's still nice to have a little reassurance that our prices aren't too high or that our prices are too low. Setting prices can be difficult sometimes because you don't want to charge too much, but you also have to reasonably take care of the farm and the family. So sometimes when you're setting prices, you have to factor in a lot of things, all the costs that went into it, and if it's going to be a reasonable price for the customers. So I'm happy to see that a lot of you feel that our prices are fair, because we honestly feel that they are fair, and they've been selling like crazy, so that must tell us something. We made a little bit of progress. I have got our 350s of white, and I've also got our 510s of white. All I need to do is weigh them and sew them up, but in the meantime, I'm gonna be getting our red potatoes bagged. If we think back to planting time, I believe we mentioned that we were planting less red than white potatoes. We only have about 2 bins left of red potatoes. Looking back, we probably should have planted some more. We didn't expect them to sell this well, but it is what it is. We're finishing off the last of our potatoes. We got about 2 more bins left, and then they'll be done. While I have been bagging potatoes, the boys have been filling the truck with corn. We've already filled our bin and dried it down, so now we're in the process of hauling corn to the mill. We've already hauled a few loads, but we wanted to get 2 hauled out today. So Matthew is gonna take the truck down, and that's what the boys have been up to. Dad is down here to help me finish off bagging potatoes. While the boys were loading up the truck, he was actually working on a tire up inside the shop. The one tractor that we have, the tire went flat on it randomly. Don't know how that happens, but he was working on fixing it and now he's done. What's going on back here? Oh, moo! We now got some bins loaded onto our wagon. We got some picking to do. It feels good to be out in the fields. Now, interestingly enough, we actually were out here picking cabbage yesterday, and we had a few special guests with us. So I'll show you how that went. All right, everyone, at the moment, we are out harvesting some cabbage. Now, if you remember from one of the previous videos, this is some storage cabbage. Now, storage cabbage, as the name suggests, is better at storing. We do raise a few different varieties of cabbage. Some are better for shredding, some are better for just selling as a head. But this particular cabbage stores a little bit longer for us. Now, the heads are a little on the smaller side. These will continue to grow. This is a long season cabbage, but we need smaller heads, so we're cutting it now. Now, it is a little bit of an exciting day. We do have someone special with us. This is John Meyer from the local news station, and we have him out here cutting cabbage. How did you feel about your first time cutting cabbage?
I did my best, I think. It was interesting. You had that sharp tool and just slide it right underneath there. And I've been watching the videos for a while, and I'm just excited to be part of one now.
Now, the cabbage that we needed was for a local supermarket, so we now have got our orders filled. And look who's out here helping us. Callie, how do you feel about picking cabbage? Well, we got our cabbage harvested, and now we're on the way home. Ah, wasn't that nice? Well, now it's today, so we got to get back to picking cabbage. Oh yeah! Now, the last few times we've been cutting cabbage, we've been cutting a variety called Hanova, and Hanova is our storage cabbage. Right now I'm working on a variety called Trans Am. The cabbages are a little larger, but that's okay. We do want smaller cabbages, but we don't want this Trans Am to go to waste. And a lot of the Trans Am that is left in the field, which there isn't much, is getting some imperfections on the top. So we're going through and trying to get all the Trans Am picked off. We have plenty of cabbage. We have the Hanova variety, but we just don't want to lose anything. We don't want to leave behind any nice cabbage. So we're trying to get everything picked off. Now, the Hanova and Trans Am, they're really, really nice cabbage, and they're later season cabbage, which is why they look pretty good. Out of all the cabbages that we raised, my favorite to pick this year was either the Trans Am or the Cabot. We picked a lot of Cabot. Cabot looks nice, Trans Am looks nice, and this Hanova, this looks pretty good. I like this stuff. But if I'm being 100% honest with myself, my favorite cabbage to harvest this year was Cabot. And that was probably just due to the size of the cabbage and how much we had. It made picking cabbage a lot easier. I'm just taking a little break to stretch the back. I'm actually shocked with how thorough of a harvest we've had with the cabbage. We don't usually leave too many heads in the field, but this year in particular, these fields are kind of barren. If every harvest could be like that, 100%, man, what a deal that would be. We just got our 2 bins of cabbage harvested. It didn't take too long. We haven't harvested at this end of the field too much. So once we got down a little further, there was much more cabbage. What's interesting is you do realize we planted this cabbage in the middle of July. And when we planted back on July 15th, we planted all of this stuff together the same day. And you've seen how long we've been harvesting cabbage. And the only way that's been possible is because we planted all those different varieties. Blue Vantage, Cabot, Henova, Trans Am, all different day varieties that have allowed us to harvest for much longer. But that's why it's always important to try out new varieties so you can see what works for you. Maybe you want to plant longer season cabbage so you can get a bigger head. Or maybe where you live, you have the opportunity to do 2 plantings of cabbage. Maybe you could plant one variety, a short season, come through and harvest it, and plant it again and get a second crop before the end of the year. I know for us personally, we like to plant between July 4th and July 20th for our final planting of cabbage, and that allows us to get cabbage that has been frosted on, and that sweetens up the cabbage, and that's something we really like. Maybe that's why I love farming so much. There's just so much variety and so many different things you can do. But we are not finished. We need to go through our cauliflower and get our cauliflower harvested.
Oh my goodness, Andrew, look at this head of cauliflower.
Wow, that is huge.
I can't leave it, Gavin.
Oh, here's a big head of cauliflower, Gavin. Ready, here it comes. Look at this. That is a cauliflower right there. This is why self-wrapping cauliflower is superior. Look at this self-wrapping cauliflower. There was no way the sun was gonna get that. Well, everyone, that was a really nice cabbage harvest and cauliflower harvest that we just got taken care of. And I think it's obvious that we can grow nice stuff here on the farm, but there's one thing we can't grow without your help, and that's our channel. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, one of the biggest ways you can help us out is by liking the video. Now that we're done, it's time to head back to the farm. On the way home, Dad and I made a quick pit stop. If you remember earlier on in the year, we were having some trouble with deer eating our red beets, and we weren't able to fill a lot of the orders that we had. So we tried seeding some red beets later on into the year, and the hope was that, well, maybe we could get those people that wanted red beets, the red beets. But I think we got it planted a little too late. Not only was it planted a little too late, we didn't have the most cooperative weather while these were trying to grow. I mean, the red beet plants look wonderful, but there's just no size to the red beets, which is very unfortunate. This is all that we could find, which these look nice, but there isn't many like this. Practically, these are the only ones. But it is what it is. At least we tried. Hi, puppy! Joel, you have the second pallet underneath hooked on. Oh, look at that! I probably should be brought back around for the auger. Yeah. Alrighty, we have come in for lunch. It looks like Grammy has got sandwiches, and is that chicken noodle or turkey noodle? Chicken noodle soup, look at that. Aunt Rhonda. I just got finished with lunch. Now I'm getting ready to get in the truck. Got to go for a little ride. If you remember from the other day, we were talking to someone about cover crop. We were looking into getting some cover crop, seeing what we could get because it's starting to get limited, and he mentioned he had some triticale. So I'm gonna run and pick up the triticale. The only thing is, it's like a 2-hour round trip, so I'm gonna run and pick up that triticale, and then we should have plenty of cover crop for the year. I have made it to the farm. Now I'm just waiting for someone to show up. We gave him a call, and then I'll be able to get the triticale. Well, that should hold everything on there. Now I've got to take a nice slow ride home. When I got home, they were using the forklift. They were working on bagging up some corn. A lot of people buy bagged corn, and we haven't had any up in front of the farm market for quite some time. So they were bagging up some corn, and then they told me they needed potatoes again, which is crazy. We've been flying through potatoes, so they also had to bag up some potatoes. But once they got finished with bagging up the corn, Dad brought the forklift up and he got the triticale unloaded. Probably not gonna plant today, but it's nice that we just have cover crop. This is a big weight off our shoulders. We weren't sure if we were gonna be able to get it, but now we can relax a little bit when it comes to worrying about the cover crop. All we have to do is get it into the soil. Now that drive I went on took up so much of my afternoon that we're now at the point where we're feeding animals for the night. And something I don't believe I mentioned, they actually cleaned out the bin. So there's no corn in the bin and we're ready to start filling. Did you do anything else this afternoon while I was gone?
I bagged potatoes.
We're getting ready to close up, but Matt's running away because he wants to make tabbouleh. So he's going to pick parsley.
My wife wants to make it.
Oh, sorry, his wife wants to make tabbouleh. Look at that sunset. That's a pretty nice sunset. We're taking a nice little walk up to the house. We got everything closed up. We got a beautiful sunset on our hands, but I'm ready to get inside. I'm ready to see what we're having for dinner. Whoa, it's already on the table. What is that? That looks good. For anybody that is curious, there is potatoes, corn, and kielbasa in there, and I'm ready to chow down. And now everybody else is here, so that means this is where we're gonna end the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.